to keep in mind today, and now we have a CNN exclusive. Charles Ehrlich was O.J. Simpson's best friend after Simpson's acquittal of murder charges in 1995. That friendship had a downside when Simpson asked Ehrlich to take part in a robbery. Ehrlich was charged as one of Simpson's accomplices in that memorabilia robbery in Las Vegas that Gene just told us about. Ehrlich took a plea deal and testified against Simpson. So how does he feel today as O.J. could get out of prison? Charles Ehrlich joins us now. Good morning, Charlie. Thank you for being here.
Good morning, Allison. How are you?
I'm well. Do you think that O.J. will be paroled today?
Yes, I do. Yes,
and how do you feel about that?
I think it's about time. He's been in, 9 years now, and I don't think he should have been there to begin with.
Well, let's talk about that, because let's remind people, just as Gene just did, it was September 13th, 2007. You both went to this Las Vegas hotel room. You, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, were the one posing as this memorabilia buyer. You were going to meet with these two memorabilia sellers who claimed to have OJ's stuff, some of his items, a Heisman Trophy, etc. OJ wanted those items back, but he had to surrender those items because he had lost that wrongful death suit against the Goldman family. Ron Goldman was killed. And so why shouldn't OJ have been in prison for that, perpetrating and masterminding that robbery?
Because I don't think that he knew there were guns involved. He had afterwards he kept on thinking to himself there were no weapons involved, when actually there were.
But it doesn't, Charlie, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I mean, the reporting and what Gene just said happened in court was that it was OJ who said, quote, "We're going to need some heat. Bring some heat," meaning the guns.
Yes, but heat could mean a lot of things. He didn't specifically say guns.
What else could it mean?
That I couldn't tell you. All I know is what he asked me to do, and I didn't know these characters that were involved. And if he would have just, if he would just asked me to do what when I saw him, we wouldn't be talking about this right now. I would have came downstairs. I would have told him that there's nothing up there, OJ, and to forget it. These characters that were involved in this particular robbery or whatever it was, I didn't know. And it was crazy, to be frank with you.
Charlie,
everything was, it happened so fastly.
Do you agree that these items that O.J. Simpson wanted back were no longer rightfully his? He had to surrender them?
In my opinion, of course I'm not a lawyer, but yeah, I think he should have surrendered them at the time, because that was what he was told to do. Apparently they showed up miraculously out of the blue when they called OJ, and he wanted to see if these items belonged to him. He asked me to do him a favor, and all I knew was to go up there and see what these items were, and then come down and let him know. But as far as these individuals go, I didn't know any of them. I wouldn't know them if they walked by me right now. It was crazy, to be frank with you.
It sounds like it, and we're seeing some of the surveillance video from it. Because of the wrongful death suit that O.J. lost, he was ordered to pay the Goldman and Brown family $33.5 million. Obviously, nothing brings back their loved ones, but they felt that that was a punitive punishment for him. He said that he didn't have any of that money. They thought that he had hidden it somewhere. He said he didn't have any, and they wanted him to have to liquidate some of his very valuable memorabilia. So I'm wondering, Charlie, today, if OJ does get out of prison, where do the Goldman and Brown families go for justice?
I assume they go to OJ. I mean, he knows that he has to pay them back $33 million, and that's his obligation.
And do you ever think about how they feel today in terms of if he were to get out?
I assume they feel terrible, obviously, because they believe he's guilty. I don't believe he's guilty. I don't believe he did the crime. But that's my personal opinion. Everyone has their own opinion. He was always my best friend. He was always likable. I run an adult club in Miami called Dean's Gold, and he would frequently come there and, you know, say hello and hang out there because it's that type of place.
Yeah. It's
very high end, and he was always very friendly to everyone. And I know his family. I know his kids.
Yeah.
We'd have dinners together, and he loves his family very much. And in my heart, I don't think he ever did the crime.
Okay.
But that's me.
Yeah. We understand you have a long friendship with him, and we appreciate you sharing some of that with us as we wait for all of this breaking news. Charlie Ehrlich, thank you very much for being here.
Thank you very much, Allison. Nice talking to you.
You too.